We got a. I think I'm recording. I hope I am. We got a. What is this? Wednesday recap. We have CPI today. So CPI candle uh made us fucking dump, bro. We swept out some lows. Yeah, we swept out this low, or no. We swept out this low. We displaced below it. We inverse all these gaps. Looked like we were going maybe to this low, like using that gap possibly. Um, but we instead went back up. Um, so yeah, so first things first, right? We get a decent retrace into this leg. We actually hit equilibrium of this leg. So now I'm looking for this Harala gap basically at inverse. The biggest one does get inverse, but there's still these two that we can reject from. And the 15-minute, we still have yet to inverse this. So I'm looking for an inverse of the 15-minute gap. What we end up doing, right, is we come into these gaps in the 15-minute, and then we get a flip bullish like this. Perfect 5-minute close, right? Down on the 1 minute. Yeah, so 1 minute, like very obvious flip. It was just high volume bullish candles. As soon as we inverse this gap, we're going to these highs like guaranteed basically. Um, but I just didn't like it because my stop had been down here and to right here it had been like 0.4 RR. Like I don't want to be taking that, you know. That's a really bad trade. If I did hold to 1 RR, yeah, sure, it would eventually hit, but like there's just no targets long basically. But if you do want to take this, um, I wasn't thinking about this, but since it's an obvious flip and we're bearish, if we retrace to where we could get a 1-to-1 to this high, so stops down here, 1-to-1. If we retrace down to here, I can put like a limit order there or something so I can get 1-to-1. Um, but that's for the future if the RR is shitty. Um, then what do we do, right? We sweep out that high. Uh, where am I? Yeah, so we sweep out that high on the 5-minute. We chop around a little bit, and then we come into the biggest 5-minute of this range. Um, ES does the same exact thing, right? And then we get a 5-minute flip. We have this little 5-minute gap, but since it really isn't much on the 5-minute, what I'm looking for is 1-minute fair value gaps to get inverse, right? So we come down here and I see these two gaps right here. If these two get inverse with speed, like, dude, we're going higher. Like that's guaranteed. So I was waiting for that inverse and showing you yes because we came into this gap right here, and then we displaced like this, and ES displaced really strongly below this low. And I was gonna go to my classes. I didn't even end up going to my classes, but I thought I was still going, so I had to take a shower real quick, and then I had to cook before I left. So I had some things I got to do. So I was like, okay, we're not inversing that. I'm gonna go take a shower real quick. I hop on the charts, bro, and I'm at this candle, 11:37. So I'm just a little bit too fucking late to enter this shit. And that low-key pissed me off. But yeah, we did eventually get that inverse. My entry would have been here. And stops would have been down here. And I probably would have just taken it to here. If I wanted to leave runners, I could have taken it to that. But that would have been the trade. But yeah, was in the shower, so I could not take that. This one, in my opinion, we didn't retrace enough into the leg. Like, if we're looking side by side with this, right? This, we retrace deep, retrace the lowest 5-minute gap, retrace the OT of the range. We look pretty bullish. The fact that we're bullish, right, is we retrace the equilibrium, we got displacement, and then we just invalidated that by going higher again. So it shows us that we do, in fact, want to go higher. We could still reject from this gap, but my bias is probably longs to data highs up there. But yeah, so look in this leg, we retrace the OT, and then we get, a flip outside of it right here. We tap into a 5-minute gap, sure, but like bro, we have all of this down here that we can still retrace to. So, in my opinion, I don't really think that that would be a trade I would take, and I did not take that. Um, damn, bro. Uh, yeah, so there's that, right? And then we're in another leg, right? Where are we? Okay, yeah. So this is where I took my first entry, and I did in fact take a loss. So, right, we inverse this whole entire gap. We're going to data highs right here. Like that is guaranteed to me. So we have this low right here. ES swept out this low right here, and then we get a crazy good flip. Now, now looking back at it, there's some mistakes and some stuff I could definitely work on. So right here, right after we inverse this gap right here, to me, this looks like there's nothing else to really take us higher. And this is a nice flip off of the SMT. It looks like we're gonna, sweep out those highs. Um, but the thing is, this is what I have to look at, right? When we have 1 minute candles, like 1 minute fair value gaps, so we want to see inverse, right? It's good to see them inverse, but if there is a 5 minute and like it has not closed yet, I should not enter that trade. I'm gonna make that a strict rule because I got fucked over on this. Because if you look on the 5 minute right here, it did not close above. We wicked and then we wicked again and then we dumped right there. And if I saw these two wicks off of these two candles, I would not want to take longs there. Um, and so yeah, that was bad entry. Another bad entry was right here. This is where I took my second trade. I did win it, but I don't know if I necessarily deserved it because, right, we have this 5 minute gap. Um, what I entered on was we still have the SMT, right? I still expect us to go higher. And if we get a V shape, we get strong displacement through this gap, I will take that shit. Um, Now what ended up happening, right, is I entered here, stops down here, and I held my TP all day here because I was confident that we were going up there. So this ended up being a pretty high R trade for me, 2.7. So really good RR. I made back my loss plus 170 on each account. So not mad whatsoever. Today should have been a losing day. I mean, today should have been a winning day, and then I took a loss. So I'm happy with the outcome, to be honest. I'm happy that I'm green. Um, but my mistake, right, is again, the 1 minute, yes, we did inverse this gap. But if you're looking on the 5 minute gap, there's still a 5 minute gap here, and we need to see that inversed before we take anything else. So if I were to take this, it would be this 5 minute close stops at the bottom of this wick. It would be less RR, it would be 0.5 less RR, but it would make me much more confident that we are going higher because that 5 minute did in fact inverse. We also got this huge wick down, filling in everything here, and then closed bullish, closed above that high or above this fair value gap. So that just means to me that that is a safe spot. If we're going higher, we're not coming down to that wick because we already filled everything down lower. We should just basically just go straight up. So, and that is exactly what we did actually. Um, this trade, like one, two, three, four very tiny bearish candles in this whole entire leg. It was slow. How long did it take me? Stench here. Oh, honestly, it only took 20 minutes to hit it, but like, yeah, still. Um, What I should have waited for was the 5 minute close because the 5 minute did not inverse. Higher time frame is obviously better. And yeah, just wait in the 5 minute close, take a higher time frame read. It will make you more confident. It will actually play out more often, more confident, more risk, higher win rate, and maybe lower RR. But if you're higher win rate and you're risking heavier, then over time you're gonna be making more money. So as simple as that, I made that mistake twice, and honestly, I just got lucky on the second one. Um, and yeah, I honestly I just got lucky that that 5 minute did in fact end up inversing and that we actually were rejecting from there. If I waited for that 5 minute inverse, I would have no problems whatsoever, but I do have a problem with me not waiting for that. So no matter what on the 1 minute time frame, if there is a 5 minute gap, wait for that to get inverse. If there's, shitty ass 5 minute gaps, but you have like a big 1 minute and that shit gets inverse with good displacement, sure, take down the 1 minute. But I just need to tell which time frame I should take it on, the 5 minute, the 1 minute, the 3 minute, any one of those really. Mostly the 1 and 5 minute, but if I have the opportunity to, I should take most of my entries on the five. Even if this shit closed like all the way up here, like I still would have got 1.5 RR. So, yep. Uh, eventually I was gonna hold a runner too to data highs, but I decided not to just because I didn't really want to worry myself because I took a loss and I look back at it and I was like, damn, I kind of got lucky with that win. So I just didn't want to worry about trading whatsoever. I'm not trading Asia too today. I am looking at it, but like I'm not gonna be taking any trades in Asia because like we're just chopping right now. And honestly, we swept out this high. We're pretty uncorrelated. This data high was the high that was swept right at the beginning of Asia session, and we just started chopping. So I really don't expect us to move anywhere during Asia, especially after CPI day. So um, but yeah, so main points from this, right? Working on my 5 minute reads and also just 1 minute when to take what. Actually, hold on. I want to see if there was because this trade down here, I want to see if there was like a 5 minute. Yeah, okay. So see here, there's a tiny ass 1 minute five, like tiny ass 5 minute, and then like nothing above it. 3 minute, there's nothing. 4 minute, there's nothing. 2 minute, there's nothing, right? So we have no higher time frame gaps right here, but we have these two decently sized 1 minute gaps. That is where you would take it off the 1 minute. If it's a big, hold on. If it's a big 5 minute gap right here, you wait for the big one to get inversed and then so much money. But yeah, that's it.